Hello everyone, welcome to an informative webinar by Royal Sabre. I'll be your host and the speaker for today's webinar. Some of the ground rules for smoother experience before we begin. We'll be going through the webinar as per the agenda plan, and in between if you have any questions, feel free to text to us on the chat window. There will be a dedicated session or slot for Q&A at the end of the demo. You can also post your queries just in case of anything related to this subject line. You can write to us always in at info@royalsabre.com. We'll be sharing the webinar survey form at the end of the webinar. Please do fill in and revert back to us. In case if you have any trouble listening our audio, you can feel free to text to us on the chat window. Let us get into this webinar. And yeah, today's topic is about mainframe SCM modernization or legacy SCM modernization. And I'll be the speaker. Myself, Vijayalakshmi, manages mainframe practice at Royal Cyber. And we help our customers on enterprise modernization or mainframe modernization and migration services and solutioning. And here is the quick glance of our agenda for today. We will have a quick introduction about Royal Cyber and our practice mainframe services and solutions, our internal assets will brief, and we will get into a detailed demo on the solution of SCM modernization. And we will also have the complete demonstration. And at the end, we will go for a Q&A forum. Regarding Royal Cyber is a fast-growing IT consulting and digital transformation company specializing in IT services and solutions. We have 2 decades of experience. We have almost 2,000 plus consultant across the globe, and we have almost 500 plus of certified consultant in various technology. And we are headquarters with in Naperville, Illinois, USA, and we have a global presence, USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Middle East. We have biggest offshore delivery center in India. In India, we have multiple offshore development centers. We do have a strategic partnership with a lot of technology company like IBM, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Heirlooms, Broadcom, Oracle, and others, which eventually helps our customer to take it to digital transformation journey. Regarding our practice, under mainframe practice, we have broad classification of infrastructure management. We focus on ZOS, ZVM, and ZLinux and other ISV product installs and upgrades. We also managing our largest customers' infrastructures. And regarding mainframe services, application services where we do enhancements as well as an application support consultations and projects. Under enterprise modernization, we engage with modernization activities like incorporating front-end or modern IDEs, implementation, customization, and middleware integrations, and providing a modernization solutions. And we also have a managed services support where we provide support for application as well as infrastructure under managed services options. Regarding our assets, internal assets, we have our solutions internally built within our practice. So this is our legacy SCM modernization solution, which we're going to discuss now in today's call. So apart from that, we do have other solutions which is aligned with our Endevor. So these are the 3 solutions we have with our Endevor. Earlier, we had an Endevor to RTC migration, which migrates assets from Endevor to RTC rational team concept for Z, which is a distributed SCM. And we also have our own custom solution, which helps for automated deployment of an application which is built from Endevor, can be deployed with urban code deploy for Z. So we did not had any direct plugin to integrate from Endevor to UCDZ, whereas our custom application seamlessly will integrate and can support for automated deployment through UCDZ. And these three are a solution from Endevor. So which means we have very strong expertise on solutioning or research and solutioning on Endevor to other modernized environment. We also have a migration tool for Micro Focus to Cobalt, which migrates Micro Focus to PeopleSoft Cobalt, and your modern IDE, right, IDZ, Rational IBM Developer for Z or Rational Developer for Z has a predefined code review rules. We can also develop our custom code review rules, which is something customer specific or domain specific code review rules we have developed incorporated for our banking customers. We also support for Z DevOps solutioning with different products and evaluation options. We have a password reset solution which works as an web application connecting to your mainframe platform for password reset. And Monitor Pro is a Roy Saber internal tool, which is a middleware monitoring tool. It also supports for your Z integration to monitor your MQIIB, which is running on System Z, ZOS platform. And of course, SCM modernization is today's topic where we are going to see in detail. So these are all our internal solutioning which we have built in our practice. Let us have a deep dive into today's topic on mainframe source control management tool modernization with a modern interfaces. So here is our agenda for this webinar. Like we are going to brief about different SCM tools available for mainframe customers and whatever the business challenges they have and what is our approach for this solution and our solution framework as well as the demo. So mostly mainframe customers work with an Endevor as a tool, which is from an which works as a completely legacy green screen platform. So to connect with your source code management or source code changes, we have to work with an SCM interface, ISPF interfaces, ISPF green screen interface where you can do the check-in, check-out code changes and promote, do the build the member changes or packaging. Everything happens with ISPF interface. All your source control elements and functions like check-in, check-out, promote, right? So everything happens with this ISPF panel. We did not had any modern interface. It's completely on this ISPF, and behind the scenes your JCL gets invoked, and that's our Endevor life is altogether. But if you look at the today's modernized environment, you have another modern SCMs like GitHub, GitLab, right? Bitbucket, TFS. So all these are the modern SCMs tools which supports your modern front end IDE, as well as this supports for your other DevOps implementations. So this is an open source and distributed application, and some of the things are open. Of course, few things are maybe licensed, but it helps you to support for your other DevOps implementations, as well as it is kind of a one tool which supports for your mainframe application as well as distributed application. It's a combination of mainframe and distributed applications. You can do the source control management via this tool. So to get the benefit out of this, our solution is going to support you on the fast migration and to take the modernized benefits as well. So the current business challenges, the current SCMS licensing cost is high, and there is a limitations on the modern interfaces as well as the DevOps integration, and you also have the skilled resources. Availability of the skilled resources is keep on getting the lack of resources. Resource shortage is there. We need to get rid of this. So these are the typical business challenges our mainframe customers is having it. And our solution is going to provide the migration from your Endevor to the modern SCM. Just a quick glance of how this application is structured in Endevor. So Endevor SCM has gotten structure like environment, system, subsystem, stages, and so on, the different types of files. So the application which is considered here for this demo is going to have the different environment like test and prod, and your system called training application, which is a subsystem with the course admin and user admin with the different stages. This is what the internal architecture or internally application is configured. And your SEM artifacts like the code organization or application execution environment, environment mapping, uh, the compilation of your application, so and the user, all these things, your application orchestration completely, we're going to migrate the users, application assets, some source code members, the application structure, and of course the build process. So these are the SEM assets artifacts which we are considering for this migration, and our solution is supporting all these artifacts can be mapped into your target modern SEM. And as a little more detail on our Endevor environment, this is actually system, subsystem, and these are all the different types we have considered, and the processor group as well. Processor group is actually helps you to compile your applications. Our migration approach works in an extract, transform, load process. So the extract process helps to extract and Endevor assets using our own customized application program interface option to extract and complete application details from an Endevor, and extracted assets we are loading into MongoDB, which is a document database, and we are keeping this for the complete audit and validation purpose. And the transform layer is one where transform phase where we are creating a transformation layer that helps to transform your target SCM artifact structure. So depending on your GitLab or Bitbucket, how the application will get structured, based on that we are transforming the existing assets or artifacts. So the transformation process is configurable based on your target tool, and we are preparing a mapping definitions, and based on the mapping definition, your transformation layer is prepared, and we are going to load the extracted assets to the target SEM. So the load typically works as per the transformed artifacts layer, and it is going to be loaded to your target SEM. So here the target is any modern SEM for your choice. So the approach is basically works like this. This is a high level architecture of our solution. Your current state is application is configured in CA Endevor with your source code, and it has got a specific structure, and you as a source control tool, it has an metadata about your application, and it is running on 0S. And this is a completely our custom solution, which takes your uh, assets from your existing CA Endevor to your target based on these customized program and utilities. There are some features based on that the inputs and outputs will be mapped, and it is going to extract and load into the Mongo database. And we will also prepare the customized mapping table, and based on this, we will prepare our target modern SCM. It can be anything. So all these, the current solution supports your GitHub, TFS, Bitbucket, or GitLab. So these are all well tested with our system. And of course, with modernized front end, it supports for your dependency based build as well as other DevOps related orchestration. So this is how the solution works. Like we are extracting and extracted assets, we are loading it here. And from this repository, we can take any type of any validation reports. And from here, we are also preparing some transformation layer, and we transformation is taking in data from your extracted asset as well as the mapping definition, which we are prepared based on the destination SEM, and your local structure will get created, which ultimately loads your source code into the target SEM, which is a server based tool. Like your GitLab or GitHub works with the server interfaces, web enabled interfaces. So this is how our solution is architecture. So completely your Endevor assets, which whatever we are looking into this kind of a green screen. So this is what, like when we extract, we will take the details of Endevor into this format, and we will load into Mongo database. And from here, our transformation layer program as well as the load program is going to extract and load into any of these modernized SCM. So with the help of this solution or modernized interface, what is the benefit you're going to get it? This solution basically helps you to avoid maintaining your the source code, the legacy, the old SCM licensing cost, which is huge, which you can avoid. So this will get rid of your huge licensing cost, and you can able to use this migrated repository to view at any point of time your SCM information which was there in your Endevor, and you can reconcile. This solution is doing good validation and reconciliation with the help of extracted and the loaded assets. And of course, because of this automated process, your migration timeline is reduced, which in turn minimizes your risk, and it's an automated task, automated programs or solution. And you can also monitor your progress through the dashboard. And in case of any failure happens during this migration, you can restart from the point of failure. So these are the benefits you can get out of this solution. And let us quickly get into the demo of migrating your Endevor to the latest modern SCM.
Let's have a glance of how application is configured with Endevor. We do see two different environments here, and let me try to get stage detail from the first. There are two stages, test and UAT from first environment, and from second I could see two more, emergency and prod. So there are four stages, and let us try to get application structure from student test. Let me try to get like this. So we do see an application called training, and which in turn has subsystem called course admin and user admin. Let us go back for element details. Let me try to get all the elements of training application that it belongs to either of the subsystem of different types. Okay, so these are all list of elements belong to test and course admin or user admin, respective subsystem and respective types. And let me try to get an what do you call element content. So this is my source code, and if I want to have versioning, so these are the different versions for this application with CCID. So now we have a briefing of how application is structured here.
Here we go with our SCM migration utility. So this is our interface, which is going to walk us through the different phases of migration. So we have option for migration with the different phases, and get the validation reporting and also the cleanup options. So this is our tool interface. From here, we are going to perform the migrations. And before we get into migration, as we discussed, our utility is going to migrate from legacy Endevor to the destination of any modern SCM. So it will support for any modern SCM. It is our transformation layer is prepared in such a way that it is going to be transformed to any modern SCMs. So as of now, these four SCM tool, which is very well tested and validated, it is working fine. And out of interest of time, for this demo, I'm going to walk us through the two SCM, which is Bitbucket and GitLab. So Bitbucket here, this is a repo which is created for today's demonstration. So this is empty. Once we extract it, and we can load the assets here and go for a verification. And GitLab is an SCM. Here the repository named as GitLab testing, and which is also again empty. And so we'll go for a migration. So this is our the home screen wherein I have an options to go through the different phases. Let me go ahead for migration. So when we migrate, the first phase is going to extract and load into transform central database. So here I'm going to extract the hours assets from an Endevor. So I'll go for a start process. So this process is actually extract process. Our custom utility or program, it's going to extract the assets of Endevor in terms of an API call, and this will load into a MongoDB, which is our central repository. So it is load is complete, and this is my Mongo interface. Let me reload this database. So here is your database which is created for an extracted assets to be copied here. The database is named as an Endevor itself, and these are the different options. It is named as similar, the tables as similar to that of our Endevor. You have a system as you have seen in the Endevor screen, right? So we have a system called training and subsystem called student test and like student prod, something like that. So this is your system table which has all the system related information retrieved. So this database has a different view. You can have see various options which you can see that either in the form of a table of form or this format or maybe like this. I prefer to go with this. So this is a little bit easy for our references. So your system and stage name and subsystem, all these details are getting stored here in this table. And subsystem table has this options like your different subsystem like course admin, user admin, what are the different members into that, everything is getting loaded here. So this is a complete extracted assets. Even individual element master details are captured here and content details are captured here. So the idea of extracting this and keeping in central repositories tomorrow, once after the migration, in case if you wanted to validate and verify any of the metadata information about the element, you can at any point of time you can come and verify here, because when you migrate from your source tool, your license may expire. You may not know how to look into it, but this repository remains as is, and this database can be taken as an reference for any point in time post migration. Okay, so this is our Mongo database. Let me go back to our interface, and now we are going to transform this to any SCM. And here for this demonstration, I'm choosing this GitLab. So I'm going to make the transformation process, which means this transform layer basically does the preparation of a folder structure with respect to the target SCM. So with respect to GitLab, what are the relevant folders need to be prepared, or the branches, whatever is required, the structure, it will make the transformation layer prepared and it is ready for getting into the next load phase. So now the transformation is complete for GitLab. So meaning we kept ready all the prerequisites for loading the assets into GitLab. And so let me go for a migrate now. So when I go for migrate, now I'm going to whatever the transformed uh, prepared. Now we are going for the load process. So Endevor to GitLab, I'm going to start this process. So this is going to be actually loaded the migrated asset into your GitLab repository. So this is complete. So this is my GitLab. Let me go here. This was empty. Now I'll refresh. See, just now these folders have been created, and this is in main branch, and I see the training and admin. These two are the systems under our Endevor, and so this is the commit comment whichever I prepared, and this is our training system. And there were two subsystems, namely user admin and course admin. The course admin underneath different types, types is again as a folders. And if I go for Cobalt source, so these are the source code member, which is of Cobalt, and CBL is the extension with respect to this GitLab convention. So in Endevor, it was in PDS of the type COP SRCE, the same name we have given here for the structure. You can also name it differently based on your understanding, but just for a migration purpose, we kept as is. And here we need to give an extension of CPL. So these are all the source code member. Just now it has got migrated. And of course, we do have a verification process. Let us go ahead as of now. So these are the source code which is migrated. Now let me go back to this tool and let's see how do I validate the migrated asset. So I go for a reporting option wherein I have member level validation as well as the file size. So the member count for GitLab I'm choosing, which means this process is going to trigger the comparison of members, which is migrated to GitLab as that of your source. So let me go for this one. And this report, a validation report is prepared and it is copied here in this local folder, which is named as Endevor GitLab. Let us go there and have a look. So this is my internal folders, where I'm keeping the validation reports. So this is for GitLab validation report. So validation report, which is generated. So it is just we are taking our source as well as the destination file number count and each type of different subsystems and system. What are the types? How many members in each type? Copybook, there are 10 and source, which is 21 for this demo samples. So the total count is matching as per the source and the destination. So this is our member level report. Let's also go for a file size. File size comparison from source of Endevor with target GitLab. File size report is generated and it is also copied into the local. I'll go for a local folder here. See, this has been prepared. So this is going to give you the file size from source and destination. See your type and different your subsystem. So since we are taking training as a system and subsystem is course admin and user admin, what are the different types of the source files? Under each type, what is an element name and the file size? So let me go for this one. Your course admin with source name is ETRPO003 has 15 KB of file size. I'll go for GitLab. And of course, it's a course admin. Source code ETR033B, right? I think this ETRO003. ETRO003. This is the member. So here is the 15 KB of 15 KB and dot. Maybe I'm just making an approximate. So this is your size. So the file size is also matching out here. And so I can confirm that the assets from an Endevor with the training and subsystem as course admin and user admin have been successfully migrated to GitLab with the repository named this as well as your system and subs. There are two systems, of course. I have taken only this for demonstration. There is an admin module also where there, and these are the two subsystems which is migrated here, and validation reports also successfully completed with the same count. Now let me go for Bitbucket. So Bitbucket is empty now. I'll go for migrate option and let me now go for a transform. This time I need to prepare the transformation with respect to Bitbucket, and I'm starting my process. So this is going to prepare the structures or prerequisites which is required as specific to Bitbucket, and it will prepare our process ready for the loading and access to Bitbucket. Your transformation is complete. So now this is again empty. Okay, only we have kept the transformation layer prepared. for ready to load into Bitbucket. So this is still empty. So my transformation is done. Let me go for migrate. So from Endevor to GitLab. So this is my target. Sorry, no, I missed it. My bad. So this is now Bitbucket. Okay, so the Bitbucket, I'm starting my process. So this is going to load your assets, whatever is extracted from Endevor to Bitbucket repository, which I have shown you just now. So the migration is complete. Let me go back to Bitbucket and refresh it. And I see this as a branch with which a folder is created with training, which is a system, and subsystem is your course admin and user admin. And let me go for course admin. So I have a different types similar to that of the source, your codes, the COBOL source, or is your source code members. All right. So this is how we can see the files. Now let's see how about your validation. So I'll go back, I'll go for a reporting. The same here also, member level as well as the file size. We are going to compare member count for your Bitbucket. Start the process. This has created a validation report in the different folder, which is kept for my Bitbucket. So I'll go for Bitbucket. So this is the folder where it is created, validation report. So this is again comparing with respect to source and destination. Your member level from source and target SCM is tallying with each type. So we did a member level comparison with system, subsystem, and then to the type. Under each type, how many members were there in the Endevor? The same member is there in your target SCM. That's what we are comparing with the member level validation. So next comes your file size. So just to see that my source code is completely migrated or not, is there any the lines of the code I'm missing, that doubt we may have it. So to confirm that your source code is successfully migrated with all your lines of code is migrated, we are going for the file size. So it is created another report into this local. So let me close this one. I'm opening this report. So here again, your subsystem systems and the member and your file size. So I'll go for this one, ETR C002 with 3 KB something, or your file size, ETR C002. I go for Bitbucket, course admin, Cobalt source. So, okay, I'll just go back to this file name again, ETRC00, ETRC00. So this one, it is. So this is a member which has 3 KBs, and here is also it is there. So this is a file size. File size is also matching. So our source code is completely migrated, and that's confirms or migrated assets have been confirmed to your member count and the file size. Uh, we do have an options for migrating to other SCMs as well. We have an options, and it is also very much customizable. So based on your target structure, we have a configuration layer. So based on that, the user requirement, we do customize the transformation related artifacts or transformation related inputs, and based on that, your target SCM folder structures have been prepared, and the members have been loaded with the proper commit command. So maybe the commits, whatever the customer is expecting, as per that we can also do the commits. But as of now, as a POC, we did some kind of a sample commit command, and it is loaded with the proper thing. In case if the customer need the commit as per the Endevor, we can also do that. So it is, our solution is completely configurable. And now I'll keep the forum open for the Q&A. Thank you so much for being with me on the demo. Let us go for a now Q&A session.